She found me in a coastal town I never told anyone about. 3 years, no contact, no address, nothing. Yet there she was, standing outside the small cafe I worked from, the sea wind pushing her hair across her face like time trying to erase her. I didn't move, I just watched her through the glass. She hesitated, clutching her phone, staring like she was seeing a ghost who refused to die. Maybe that's what I'd become, a quiet death that never got buried. I looked back at my laptop, the cursor blinking on a blank page. My hands didn't shake, not anymore. Her reflection lingered on the screen, fragile, hopeful, afraid. Then the door opened. The small bell above it chimed like it was mocking the silence between us. She whispered my name. I didn't respond. She said, "I've been trying to reach you." Her voice trembled. Mine didn't. I know. The space between us felt like the years she'd stolen, empty, irreversible. Outside, waves crashed against the pier. Inside, she held her breath as if my silence might fill the void she'd created. It didn't. The last time I saw her, she was in a black gown, gold cords around her neck, smiling for cameras that didn't catch the papers in her hand. Divorce documents, neat, stapled, pre-signed by her. She handed them to me between her parents' congratulations and her advisor's handshake. Said it quietly, almost like a favor. "It's better this way," she'd whispered. I remember the applause when she walked across the stage. I remember the pen in my hand. I don't remember feeling anything when I signed. She looked relieved. That was the part I never forgot. The relief. Not sadness, not guilt, just release. Like she'd been holding her breath through the last year of our marriage. I left that night, vanished without noise, without message, without forwarding address. But before I left, I checked one thing. Her phone. I didn't mean to. It was open on the counter. One unread message. A name I didn't recognize. Then another and another. I didn't read them all. I didn't need to. The pattern was clear. Long messages, late nights, the slow intimacy of two people pretending they're just friends. It wasn't about what they said, it was about how they said it. That was the moment I learned silence could hurt more than truth. I didn't confront her. I never do. I collect things, patterns, proof. In the weeks before graduation, I watched. Her laughter shifted, too bright, too performative. Her eyes lingered on her phone longer than on me. Once I called her name while she was texting. She didn't hear it. I said it again. Still nothing. That was my first clue she'd already left, mentally, emotionally, long before the papers. When I found out the man's name, her research partner, Ethan, I felt nothing at first. I told myself it was harmless, academic, professional. But I watched how her tone changed when she said his name, how her shoulders softened when he entered a room. Love doesn't die all at once. It starves quietly. By the time I confirmed it, I was past rage. I was studying detachment like a science. I accessed her backup drive one night, not because I wanted to know, because I needed to understand the method of her betrayal. Late-night drafts, messages, voice notes. One labeled practice speech. I played it. Her voice, clear, confident, rehearsing for her defense. And then laughter. A man's voice in the background. "You'll be free soon," he said. She didn't argue. She just said, "I know." That was 3 days before she handed me the papers. So when she smiled on stage, I smiled too. Not in love, but in acknowledgement. She thought she was freeing herself. She never realized she was setting me loose. 3 years later, when she found me, she tried to explain. "I made a mistake," she said. Her voice broke in places that used to sound rehearsed. I said nothing, just slid a folder across the table. Printed screenshots, emails, timestamps. The truth she thought I'd never known. She froze. "I never meant." I cut her off with a glance. "You did," I said. "You meant every word. You just didn't expect me to hear it." Her hands trembled. Mine didn't. She read one of the messages, the one where she told him she couldn't sleep next to me anymore, that it felt like a lie. Her eyes darted up, searching for mercy. I had none left. "You kept these?" she whispered. "No," I said. "I kept what they made me." She looked confused, then afraid, because what she was seeing wasn't revenge. It was absence. The version of me she broke. The one that never came back. I told her I didn't hate her. That was the worst part for her to hear. Hate would have meant I still cared. Instead, I stood and said, "You came looking for forgiveness. You found a ghost." She reached out. A reflex, maybe. I stepped back. "I thought about replying," I said, "every time you sent a message. But I realized, silence is what you gave me first. I'm just returning it." Her tears came quietly. I didn't watch them fall. "You don't understand," she said. "I lost everything after you left." I looked at her then, not out of pity, but to make sure she saw it. The calm, the finality. "No," I said, "you lost what you chose to lose." And I walked out. No raised voice, no slammed door. Just the echo of her own decisions chasing her down an empty street. I moved inland a month later. New name on the mailbox. New silence in my chest. Sometimes I think about her, not out of longing, but curiosity. Like studying an extinct species you once feared. She sent one last message months after that day. I didn't read it. I deleted it before opening. Because some truths don't need to be revisited. They need to stay buried in the ruins of who we were. When she handed me those papers, she thought she was ending something. She didn't realize she was creating someone new.